It saddens me to say that America is the main reason, the main cause of all the immigration, refugees, I should say, all over the world. Okay, let me say this again in simple words. America is the primary reason why there is so much refugees all over the world. And I'm going to give you facts, not just opinions. Okay, number one, I'll talk about myself. I'm from Iran. And the reason my family moved to America is because what America did back in the 70s in Iran. They threw a coup. They overthrew the government. Now, before you say, Mike, you're making this stuff up, here's the CIA paperwork that outlines exactly how they did it, when they did it, step by step. And it's unclassified now, okay? Now, you see the proof? Now, this same exact gameplay has happened in so many different countries. For example, if you look at El Salvador, if you look at Guatemala, if you look at Hungary, if you look at so many of the Latin American countries, a lot of these individuals immigrate or become refugees, and they want to leave their countries because of what America or America's corporations have done in their countries. Okay, for example, in the Latin countries, you see that American corporations like the Banana Corporation, so on and so on, all the way to the CIA, to Big Brother, have gone to these countries and overthrew their government elected by the people. So for whatever reason, we had an interest in some third world country to go in there and install a puppet leader, just like they did with Iran, okay? And I'm not making this up. This is what the CIA documents reveals. It's been unclassified. Well, the same thing has happened in so many other countries. So if you think there's a lot of Mexican people here, if you think there's a lot of Latin people here, well, point the finger back to Big Brother in America. They are the primary causes of this, okay? And the corporations that they support. Now, what I'm saying is very not cool, to live in America and point a finger to your big brother and say, look, you are the cause of all the immigration all around the world. Okay, you're the reason why Mexican people come here. You're the reason why people from El Salvador come here. You're the reason why people from Guatemala come here. You're the reason why people from most of these Latin American countries have come here from one way or another. Your dirty hands, big brother, has been into these countries. One way or another, you've overthrown their governments, or created civil wars, or funded the other side, or somehow or another you caused chaos in these countries for America to extract their natural resources, which caused in one way or another massive amount of people leaving their homes because it wasn't safe anymore to live there. I mean, we talked about Iran. I brought you facts from the CIA that's been unclassified. I'm giving you my opinions of what has happened to Latin America, why we're having so much Latin American brothers and sisters come to America, and we blame them like it's their fault. No. Our government is the cause of all this immigration here, one way or another, because the corporations they fund, and those corporations like the Banana, blah, blah, coffee, blah, blah, and just study history and you realize what I'm saying is not an opinion, it's actual facts, but it's not talked about in history books, it's not talked about in the news. It's kind of like the Native Americans. Like we genocide millions of Native Americans, but we never talk about it. We just talk about the Jews, right? Which is a very sad situation, but even in our own homeland, we had the same situation happen with the Native Americans. That's why every time I see a Native American, I go up to him, I'm saying, I'm so sorry that what America has done to your people, because it's the same thing that Germany did to the Jews, but we don't really acknowledge that in our history books, right? So anyways, let me proceed and move forward, okay? So if you look at around the world right now, if you look at, for example, what's going on in Ukraine, millions and millions of refugees and immigrants are going to all the neighboring countries there, right? And guess what? Who caused this? America-led NATO. If you go back in history, we had a treaty with Russia, all right, where we're not supposed to expand NATO, and now we're expanding NATO to many other countries. We're at Russia's next door. We wouldn't be cool if China came to Mexico and planted missile systems. Why would we feel different if we went to Russia's border and planted a missile system. Why would you think Russia wouldn't care? Okay, so we gotta treat people fairly and look at people fairly. If you don't want to get slapped, then the other people don't want to get slapped either, right? If you're okay getting punched in the face, then they're probably okay getting punched in the face too. Okay, so you gotta be fair about it. Okay, and being the world's police, creating all this chaos has been the primary beneficiary of us getting ahead in the world, because we're printing the dollars, fake money. We create the petrodollar, and we have a grip on the petrodollar, where every world needs to have our dollars to buy fuel for their consumers or their people to run their economy. At the same time, we're causing massive chaos by all the immigration. Like if you look at Ukraine, we've caused millions of immigration. Now this is Russia's fault. No, that's what the U.S. media is propaganda. That's what the Big Brother's propaganda is, because they need your brothers and sisters and kids to go fight soon. Okay, but the truth is that if we are the aggressors in that war, and because of that war, we've caused millions and millions of people to die. We caused millions and millions of people to be immigrants. Now, if you look at the Middle East, let's look at just yesterday I met some guy from Afghanistan. Well, why do you think they're here in America? Well, we bombed the crap out of their countries, right? A couple of weeks ago, I met some guys from Iraq. Why do you think the guy came here? Well, you know what happened in Iraq. So we are the primary beneficiary of chaos around the world, which causes massive immigrations to all these countries like Germany, UK, America, Canada, Great Britain. And then we point the finger and say it's their fault. Is their country's fault that causes this? No sane individual is going to want to leave their country to go to a different country where they don't know a rock from an atom. They don't speak the language. They don't know no one. Say, oh, I'm going to go there. They don't even speak. I'm going to go there and make a living. No one's going to want to do that unless life is hell back at home. And America creates that hell by overthrowing other countries, by installing puppets, by all the economic havocs like sanctions and inflation and all that stuff that really hurts these other countries. Like, for example, one question I have is, why is it that the richest nations are the poorest? Like, look at Venezuela, right? Look at Africa. I mean, they're sitting on so much natural resources, but they're the poorest, right? Well, the system is set up, thanks to America, to make the richest countries be the poorest while we extract their natural resources through our petrodollar. Let me know your thoughts below. Leave me a comment. Thanks, guys. Peace.